What's up, team? It's Lucas, and welcome back to the Sunday Stock Show. This video is for entertainment purposes only, and it's sci-fi time, so let's get into this. So today I'll be talking to you guys about my top 10 stocks for the upcoming future. The plays will be to play out either this week or into next week. And the criteria that I'm looking for is either because they've sold off because of earnings or because they've been on a nice uptrend. They've had a nice bullish direction for the past couple of months, and they've recently pulled back, and there's a good entry for them to run up to a new high. All right, so I've got top 10 stocks, and I'll go in and break them down each individually and talk about them and why I like each of them. This video is going to have a bit more of technical analysis behind it, and if you guys enjoy that, all I ask is if you guys can like, share, and smash that subscribe button. It really helps out the channel, helps us grow, helps other investors around the world hear and learn about us and see the value that we can add to each individual investor. So let's dive into this and let's take a look at the first stock that I want to look at. So the first one I'm looking at here is Plan. We're going to be looking at the 6-month time frame here. We do see that Plan has been, this is ticker symbol PLAN, has been selling off in the past. And I know I've often talked about to invest your money on trades that have been going up, on stocks that have been going up in the past 6 months. This one has sold off and has now been entering into a trading range. So it's been bouncing from the support at about $50 a share and running back up to about 65. So they've recently sold off because of earnings. Here, taking a look at, they did have negative earnings. They didn't beat their earnings. They missed it by about 8.5%, and they've sold off. But we do see that they have been running back up. So they came down, they broke that support. This might have been a bit of an aggressive sell-off, but overall they still held at this 50. They're now starting to run back up, showing signs. Friday they closed at about above 3.83%. These are good signs of a reversal. This can possibly come and run back up to about $57, $58 a share. If you want to be a little more aggressive, you can try to push it up to about 65. All right. If you're looking for a point of entry and you may be wanting to wait for it to cross a possible you want a confirmation, well, your confirmation could be at about somewhere around $53 a share, and then you can enter into your position, try to run it up. If you want to be really conservative, you could just try to push it to about $56 a share. I would be trying to run this up to about $58, $60 a share. So that's the first stock. That's PLAN. Next one I want to take a look at is ticker symbol FANG. This is FANG. We've talked about them in the past as well. I've made a lot of videos about them. We've ran them up in the past, and now they've sold off again and showing signs again of a reversal. So this does seem to have a bit of a resistance here at about $81 a share approximately. So if you wanted to set that as your confirmation level, by all means do so, or you could even try to run it up to that. There's not much margin to be made there, but at about $81 a share, that would be your confirmation of it having broken this little resistance and showing signs of a really strong reversal, running it back up to about $86 a share. All right. So when it does break this confirmation, you may see a bit of a pullback because it will have had a pretty good run, and they may pull back maybe to somewhere around 78, 79, and then run right back up there. All right. So definitely keep an eye on them and see how they play out. That's ticker symbol FANG. Next one I want to look at is SFIX, SFIX. All right, SFIX. This is one of my favorite stocks. I've played them a lot. Again, they have been bearish in the past couple of months. Doesn't always hit that criteria of being bullish, but I do like them because they've recently broken a pretty strong resistance they had. They had a pretty strong resistance here. If we zoom in a little bit, they had a pretty strong resistance at about $52, $53 a share. Finally broke that. At the end of the day, they did sell off a tiny bit, but they are showing really good signs from having come down to this low here. Really good signs of an uptrend here and possibly running this back up to $60 a share. And if you want to be even more aggressive, trying to run it up either into the 80s or above the hundreds. Do I think it's going to hit that in the near future? Probably not, but more of a short-term trade could allow you to go from 53 to about $60 a share, which still gives you a pretty good margin of approximately 15%. All right, so keep them on your watch list. That's ticker symbol SFIX. All right, the next one I want to take a look at is Visa, ticker symbol V. Again, this does fall in the criteria that we like. The bullish over the past 6 months, continuously hitting new highs, sell off, a new high, a sell off. And what we've just seen is a sell off, and now it's starting to confirm of a reversal. So we hit again after having hit this low here. We came to a high, sold off, another high, sold off a little bit. We see a bit of consolidation going on. I could see this spiking back up to about $238 a share, if not breaking a new high, as it has been doing in the past. And as we know, patterns tend to repeat themselves, but they don't always have to. So definitely keep them on your watch list and on your radar. And if you do see this having some positive action in it, run it right back up to about $240 a share, which with options would be an incredible payout, because Visa is a pretty expensive stock and pretty consistent overall, so you shouldn't be seeing any huge sell-offs. All right. Next one I want to get into is going to be a bit more in that tech industry. So we know the EV industry has sold off a lot over the past couple of months. But recently there's been a lot of new plans coming out. So Biden's put out a new plan, and there's a lot of new incentives into moving into that EV and clean energy industry. So I've got actually 3 stocks that are going to be EV related, but really any of the EV stocks would be good plays. All right, so the first one I want to take a look at is Blink, BLNK. We see, again, if I was to back out a little bit, we see what I just talked about, how EV has been selling off. So Blink hit highs of 64.50 this year, and since then it has been selling off. We see lower lows and lower highs. But then it hit kind of a consolidation where it fell into a trading range. We often saw it coming up to about $40, $45 a share, selling back off. And recently, because of earnings, the run up to earnings, they did sell off, having had bad earnings as well. But like I mentioned, the new plans that are coming out, this new incentive for this EV market has been pushing them up. In my honest opinion, I think this is the end of that sell-off. Overall in the EV industry, I think EV stocks have seen their bottom and will begin to run up from here on forward. All right, so this isn't only Blink, this will be all of the EV related stocks, whether it's Plug, Workhorse, XPEV, all of those. All right, but today I'll only be talking to you about my 3 favorite ones. So Blink, I've talked about them a lot in the past. If we go take a look at since they've had earnings, they've been crushing it. They've been running up. They ran up from about $25 a share to now being at $34, with higher highs and higher lows. So this is showing a good uptrend and a good sign of a reversal. I could see this running back up to about $40 a share. That would be conservative. If you're looking for more of a long-term play, you can try to run this back up into the $50s, $60s, $70 a share. All right, but for the short term, I would definitely be looking to just run this up to about 40, which still gives you a really good profit margin of approximately 17%. All right, so keep them on your watch list. As I mentioned, I think the EV industry is finished selling off, and we're going to start to see a lot more of a bullish run from here on forward. All right, so that's ticker symbol BLNK. Next one I want to look at is our famous Tesla. So again, just like all of the other ones, just like Blink we just talked about, has sold off, fell into a trading range. It used to bounce off this 700 support where you see this line here. That was a resistance. This 700 resistance line often came and hit it, would sell off, hit it, sell off. We finally broke through, and then again we've come below. Then the 600 started to act as a strong resistance, but now we've closed above the 600. We're at 625 again, showing higher highs here and higher lows. Good signs of a reversal. I could see this running back up easily till about 680 a share, and then we might see that 700 resistance acting up again. So if you want to be a little more comfortable, just try to run it up to about 680. Take your profits there. You want to be a little more aggressive, try to break that 700 and see how far you can take it. All right, so for me, this would already have confirmed its entry. My entry would have been at about $620 a share, and I'm already heavy in this position. I'm going to be looking to try to ride this back up to about 700, as I mentioned, and take some profits there, while keeping a few shares obviously for the long term. But for my trading account, I'll be getting in and out of it at the 700 level. All right, so that's ticker symbol Tesla. Next one I want to move into is NEO, another one, probably one of my favorite EV stocks. So here we see signs, the same thing as the last two, Blink and Tesla, having reversed, showing good signs of a reversal. You could possibly already get into this trade. It's already confirmed at many levels. If you want to be a little more conservative again, I've got a level here set up at approximately 39.50 as a confirmation level, and when it breaks that, you can try to run it up to about $43 a share. If not, you could enter into your position and try to run it up as well. All right, so for all three of these, as I mentioned, I do think that EV sell-off is done, and we're going to see a bullish pattern for the next couple of weeks to months in the whole EV sector. All right. Moving on from the electric vehicles, let's get into another stock, which is ticker symbol HHR, Headhunter Group. So this falls exactly into the criteria that I like to talk about on the Sunday stock show. 6 months of having been bearish, we could see it consistently hits a new high, sells off, new high, sells off, new high, sells off. All right. Overall, the pattern and the trend have been an uptrend. All right. We could even draw a channel line here. We could see that it's always consistently falling between these two channels. If we come here and turn on an indicator, let's turn on our moving averages. It's above all of the moving averages right now. Really good signs as well. You may want to try to catch us on a little pullback if it pulls back down to about $40 a share, and then run it right back up to about 45, or it would break a new high, all right, as it's been doing in the past. Again, patterns tend to repeat themselves. I can see this possibly running up to a new high, somewhere around $45, $46 a share, giving you a return of approximately 9%, 9 to 10%, depending on how high it runs. All right, this is one that I like a lot. HHR, it's been very consistent over the past couple of months. I don't see any big sell-offs coming in the near future, and overall I think it's going to do very well. All right, so that's HHR. Another one I want to talk about is CVNA, Carvana. So for those of you guys who have been following my channel and following my videos, you guys know I've talked about this in the past. Actually, I've talked about them recently when they sold off because of earnings. And for those of you guys who hopped in at about $225 a share, kudos to you. You've made a killing off of that already. It's up $40 a share since then. If you still haven't entered into your trade, here I've got a possible confirmation level. If we come take a look at it here, it's at 270. All right, so you may want to wait till it breaks that 270 if you want to be a little more conservative, because that 270 has acted as a resistance in the past. We see it bounced off of it here. We also see it bounced off of it a couple of times here, and once here, and then sold off. Here we're at about 265. We may see a bit of a resistance at this 270. If it breaks it and you're a bit more of a conservative, less risk-averse trader, maybe wait for it to break that 270, 271, 272, enter into your trade and run it up to 280 or approximately 290 a share. If you just want to enter into your trade right away, I would still say this has already confirmed a reversal, and you could possibly run it up to, as I mentioned, about 290 a share, which gives you a great return of approximately 13% on almost a $300 stock. That is a huge return. All right, so keep them in mind. That's CVNA. The last stock I want to take a look at is our famous Disney. So we all know about Disney. Again, summer is coming. The parks are going to start to fill up even more. There's a lot of great stuff coming out with Disney. Keep them on your watch list. What do I like about them? They have been selling off. I don't necessarily always like that, but there was also earnings here where they did sell off quite aggressively. They came down, touched this 168 level, and again are showing signs of a reversal here. That's what's really important on these Sunday stock show talk videos, is that we see that reversal, we see that confirmation, we enter into our trade and just ride it back up, take our profits and move on to the next one. All right, so here again, we see this clear sign of a reversal here. If we zoom in a little bit, we see it's been running up the past couple of days with a few little corrections, which is fine. Corrections are healthy. Enter into your trade, and I could see this running up back up to about $186, $190 a share, depending on how long you want to hold on to it for. To me, this is already seems like a very good entry and that gives you approximately a 5% return. Again, if you want it to be a little more conservative, maybe wait for it to break that 180, 181, and then enter into your trade. All right, so again, those are my top 10 picks. I really like them for this week and into the next week as well. Take profits when needed. If you enjoyed the content on this, please, as I mentioned, share, like, and smash that subscribe button. It really helps us out, and I would appreciate it. And it'll encourage me to continue on making these videos. Whenever you guys have any questions, throw them into the comments. If you guys have any stocks you want me to look at, put them into the comments. That helps me out. I can do a deep analysis and a deep dive on all of those, and I love to look into stocks that people bring to me. So aside from that, I'm gonna let all of you go. I hope you guys are enjoying your weekend. The market is closed tomorrow for Memorial Day weekend, and we will see you Tuesday at 9 a.m. sharp in the live trading room. If you guys have any questions, message us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, or on our Discord channel. You know where to reach us. Aside from that, have a great weekend, everybody, and a good rest of the Sunday. See you soon.